Welcome in MacGyver Engineering. Today we will try to fix, actually we will not try to, we will fix this window. Actually it will not be today, it will be over a couple of days that you will basically see within a couple of minutes of this video. What I mean, if I'm trying to opening this window, it goes down sort of, but trying to lift it up will not happen if you are using your hands basically pushing up. So we will disassemble this window and we will fix the motor. I went to scrapyard and I picked up a first best motor for the window like that from a big bin of electric motors, and they told me that they want something like 50 euros about for that. And I thought, oh my god, they are crazy. Then when I went online and they go like 100 euros for a new one. So exactly this is what you can expect from the scrapyard. They will give you 50% on something that is not even 10% as good as a new one. In general, the buying from scrapyard anything is a big problem in Cyprus. Maybe some other countries are better. Nevertheless, if you have a little bit of skills with your tools, you can actually fix them. Well, unless you burnt the motor, so be careful with that. So let's dig into it. Okay, so it is possible that your case will be completely different, but it's like 99% of probability that nothing of these parts would fail. This will hold probably. The gear mechanism of the engine will probably also be fine if it's old model. If it's a new model, there is a big probability that you messed up something else. But if it comes from the age of it, most probably what failed is the clutch mechanism here. Just like this one. As you can see, the rubber is ripped all around it. I didn't open it before. This is the moment when I'm opening this one. I just fixed already one of those, so this is exactly what I was expecting to see. So first of all, you need to dig it out. If you are lucky enough not to break it completely, take it in one piece. But in most cases they will basically fall apart. This is old rubber. You need to take it out and clean it quite well. This one actually came in the one piece. It's very nice, very nice. You can actually use this one. Otherwise you will have to go my way and you will have to take this part from the top, looking from the top, and make a photo of it, then take it to a graphical program like GIMP or something like that, trace the outline from the photo and cut a piece of this in paper. This will come in handy later on. This is a paper, it's not metal, it's paper. It's basically covered with a spray paint, so that's why it looks like that. And the next thing you will need to fix it is this, which is a piece of tire, quite thick enough to complement this one, or replace it, not complement, replace it. And of course you will need to remove all the remaining rubber from this central part. In my case, this is quite strongly welded together. It happened in the same way on the other one. So yeah, let's continue. Okay, and now you can see why this piece of paper was covered with a silver tape. Basically, I glue this on the piece of old tire and use a spray paint to get the rough outline. It doesn't have to be perfect. At least I didn't. I don't consider that it has to be. Now, what you need to do is to cut it out, and you can use any tool you want. I am going to use this very fine saw that I bought on AliExpress. It was like, you know, I paid like €1 for 10 of those. And I made this DIY a frame out of a spring that I pulled over an old mattress. And this works really nice, at least for that application. Oops. Whoa, and it went off. Good that I have like 10 of those. Okay, so it's very easy to replace. Okay, and continue. Maybe I will. Now, as you can see, it doesn't look perfect, and the shape isn't in any way similar to the one that we have in the existing motor. But this is enough. What I'm gonna do now is to compare exactly the inner dimensions of this one to the outer dimensions of my cutoff, and remove all the irregularities, and also check the depth of this that is required in here, and remove the excess material from this one. I'm not going to show that, you know. Then next step is to clean up the middle part, because this probably will get stuck on it, the old rubber. And you take the measurement of it. As you can see here, I have about 22-23 millimeters, and you need to get yourself a thin wall pipe. This is aluminum at this point, but this is just enough, and you need it to be at least a millimeter or two smaller diameter, because you really want it to grip on this middle part really tight. In order to have a nice cutting edge, you need to use a file. Remove the burr from the inside after cutting. Now I locked my table so it will not skid on me. And what I want to do now is to get it centered as much as possible. I'm not going to put it into vise or something like that, but you want it to have about the same amount of distance from each corner. A little bit more. And Since this thing is quite irregular, it may take a minute. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this. To make it easy, you can add a little bit of oil. Voila! And we have a perfect hole with a diameter that is even smaller than I expected. You know, the way that you make this sharpening, it will make it even, you know, cut it a little bit into inside. Now, next thing is to clean it up from the oil, because you don't want the oil to stay on that. Although, honestly, this is almost dry. And you need to push it down. Now, how you will do it, you can do it in many ways. I'm gonna use whatever I have, which is my hydraulic press. Perfect. Now this thing is not going to move. And believe me, you need it to be very tight, because I had it before done with a hole that was a little bit too large. And basically the forces involved in this shaft was too much to actually lift the window. Okay, so I just installed it. I recommend spraying the windows also with this one, which is it is not WD-40, it's a silicone lubricant made by this company. This will basically make this work 10 times longer in the long run. This goes here. Now the battery is not really strong enough to make a full push, but the idea is when it gets all the way up, this middle part should be able to make a little spin. Although I would not recommend pushing it and holding it like that, because either you can break the gear that is running this motor, you can burn the motor, or you can even in some cases break the window or bend the frame of the door. So really, just run it high enough, that's it, forget about it. Even with a new one, it's the same story. Although some of those more expensive cars, they have limit switches and they have automatic one that allow you basically to make one push and then the window will fully open. Okay, that's it. More videos coming soon.